Welcome to Turn Up, Beardown, a newly branded show for Bears fans to turn up the volume so we can all bear down together. So, welcome to the show. We have Matt Jansen back with us again this week. Looks like he's going to go from a special guest star to a series regular. So, welcome, Matt.
Yes, thank you. Glad to be on, and wow, we won last week. We're both suckers. We were both wrong, and I'm glad we were wrong. So yeah, I'm excited to be on board, and looking forward to the future of turn up, bear down.
Yeah, turn down for what? So here we go. Let's get into it. So this week we're traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have won another 3-2. How many have they won in a row?
Started 0-2. They've won their last three.
So they have won 3 straight. They're looking for 4 straight, which is interesting. I mean, you never want to have to play a team that's really rolling like the Panthers are. But, coming off a big win last week, and we had a couple extra days off as well since we played on Thursday, that should bode well for this coming Sunday's matchup. What are your thoughts just on the overall matchup?
I think Carolina's another team kind of like us, but I don't think a lot of people had picked to be, let's say, because they're tied for first down in the NFC South. So, and I think we're in second. So I think we're kind of the surprise teams of the NFC, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and yeah, they're playing really well as of late, and momentum carries, momentum travels. So, I think I'm hoping that we're taking this as serious as we should be. And again, man, we need to just get going, don't we, Scotty B? Our offense needs to win the game, not the defense.
Yeah, so we're going to get into a lot of those different things. A lot of my points were just mentioned by you. But let's look at the injuries. Let's look at some of the key players, and let's talk about how each team can win this game. So starting off, we have some major running back injuries here. It's really impressive that Carolina's won 3 straight, considering Christian McCaffrey has been out for a while. I think he's going to be out like 4 more weeks. I'm not 100% sure on that. We know Cohen's going to be out for the year. The Bears did lose James Daniels. That's going to be tough to replace, just because once you have that line already playing well together, even though we might have the best line, but you throw in a new guy like Alex Bars came in last week and he just got blown up like immediately. And then for the Panthers, they have a couple of edge rushers that looks like are going to be out for this game as well. So what are your takeaways here with our injury report?
Yeah, like you said, continuity on the line is huge. And if you remember back on the days of Kyle Long and Cody Whitehair, and I mean, honestly, it's pretty much the same line, without Kyle Long. But I remember, what was it, 2018? I mean, I think our line played every single snap together that year, and I think it goes a long way. It's just being comfortable around one another. What you're supposed to do on every play, job responsibility, and so that's one spot. Especially Alex Bars, he came in for James Daniels last week, got burned one of the first plays he came in, and looked okay. I mean, didn't look great, didn't look terrible, but I wasn't overly impressed with him. So how is he going to do now with a full week? And how is he going to mesh with the rest of that line? It's good that he has 2 veterans on either side of him, and Bobby Massey and Cody Whitehair. So obviously that'll help him. But I'm sure if I'm a D coordinator, I'm saying let's pick on that side and see how he's going to react early in the game. So
yeah, and I think that going into some of our key players with the line, we really do need them to play well. Last week, I'm listening to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, and Troy Aikman made a comment that David Montgomery is a pretty solid back, but every time he gets the ball, he has to shed like 4 or 5 tackles, and there's really no place to go, and he has to make something out of nothing. So we need that line play really to improve. But again, David Montgomery has to be a key player. He caught the big catch on what down? I forget what down that was. That was a 3rd down, wasn't it? Like 3rd and 11, I want to say.
He had I think it was a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, something.
2nd and 11. Yeah, and that's impressive too. I went back and watched that, and Nick Foles on the audible there, rub, Sunday. That's the audible there. Literally, you can hear it. And we ran a rub route for David Montgomery there on that play. So
yeah, I saw Emmanuel Acho. He actually made a short video where he broke down that play and was saying this is why Nick Foles needs to be the Bears quarterback because of the play, the audible that he made right there, and he knew what was coming. He knew what he had. And going into our second point here with Nagy, and really we need to continue to address these mismatches we find in our play calling because David Montgomery against a lot of these guys that cover him, he really isn't being covered very well. He always is able to get open. This isn't the first time where he's been somebody that we can use to exploit the defense. But Nagy really needs to come out and have a good play calling game because I feel like when we really start to struggle, the play calling can kind of be at fault for that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Carolina's defense is coming in, giving up 133 yards per game. So there's definitely, if there's a week for Montgomery to kind of get back, because I think previous to the last few games, we were running the ball fairly well through those first couple games. And then you play two of the top two rush defenses. So take that what you may. But now is a game that's very easy. I mean, we should be able to win at the point of attack and hopefully open up some lanes for Montgomery. You got a defense giving up 133 yards a game. And also, we're looking at Nick Foles. Can he take more control right now? I know it looked like on the sideline, some of that interaction with Nagy, he's going, let's go up tempo. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if they try to go up tempo at some point, whether it's out of the gate, whether it's second possession, whether it's, right before half. Just really continue to add those wrinkles. Like I said, I really like that Cordell Patterson swing route that, again, we converted. I think they did that twice during the game. And then, again, we hit it with Montgomery. And I think now that that's on tape, defenses will try to keep that in front of them, which residually will open up some holes for that underneath stuff on third down. So I'm hoping that we can continue to add those new wrinkles because I did think, take the Patterson play, take the Patterson play I'm talking about is late in that first half where he gets down to about the 5-yard line or so, right? Huge play right after the Kyle Fuller fumble. And then the David Montgomery play, I think on third, and then another one on second that moved the chains. So without those plays, I don't know if we're 4-1. I think we're probably 3-2. I don't know if we're able to get it done. So those are three huge plays with the addition of those wrinkles and different personnel. So I'm hoping that we can continue to do that layer on layer.
Yeah. And all right, let's talk about our third player there as we've kind of addressed the running back and the play calling. So Raquan Smith, rookie year. He really, in my opinion, rookie year, he was a phenomenal player. He did so well rookie year. Last year, he actually was doing pretty well until I believe he tore his pec. I don't remember if it was against the Lions or the Cowboys. I think it was right around that time.
Yeah.
But there's been a few times this year where he's gotten burnt. He hasn't made tackles. Again, this was another thing that was addressed by the commentators during last week's game. But we really need him to start stepping it up. In this game, he's going to have to stop Teddy Bridgewater in the short stuff, so he's going to be very active, and also slow down Mike Davis, the running back.
Yeah, and again, team tackling was pretty poor last week. I think we saw Ronald Jones. I mean, he had his way with us, got to the second level. And I know those guys are trying to strip the ball and try to create a turnover, but, the tackling was about as poor as I've seen during Chuck Pagano's time here. Or Fangio's defense really. And the other piece there is, you're exactly right. There is going to be some short stuff. We talked about the fact that they had guys like Manti Te'o, him and his make-believe girlfriend, and also Deon Buchanan in for a tryout this week, who I really like Deon Buchanan as far as that pass matchup linebacker.
Yeah.
Converted safety there. He had some success with Arizona. So I don't know if we signed those guys. I didn't see anything, so I would assume we didn't. But Danny Trevathan is going to have to be a guy that's probably not on the field in those third down. I hate to say it. The guy's been an All-Pro in a few years. But you're right. Raquan Smith has got to be the leader. He's got to make everything he's supposed to make.
Yeah.
And he got absolutely blown up on two plays that should have been tackles for loss. Quite frankly, last. I mean, in the hole, he filled the hole and was right there. And Jones was able to shake free. So,
and those led to broken plays, like big 37-yard runs. I believe one was a 37-yard run
Yeah.
We can't have that. Like, that's not the kind of defense that is established here in Chicago. We're used to, if we're going to get beat, it's going to take you going down the field a long time to actually get in the end zone. And with that, we can start to look at the other side of the coin here. We know that Teddy Bridgewater, he's not going to necessarily throw the deep ball, but he's going to do a lot of slicing and dicing, a lot of short passes here and there. He's going to hit his running backs early and often. So we have Teddy Bridgewater. He needs to play a good game, obviously, for Carolina to do well. He did carve up the Bears last week at Soldier Field when he was a member of the Saints. He had quite a few more weapons. Quite a few more weapons with the Saints, though. And then in a weird twist, Mike Davis was actually the Bears starter last year, and here he is filling the role of Christian McCaffrey, who's out with an injury. And then lastly, we have Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver recently acquired this year. I think he was with the Jets last year. So I kind of just went through those real quickly. It is the opposition, but what are some of your thoughts on these three guys?
Yeah, I mean, Bridgewater's having a nice year. They're sixth in passing, and that's in the whole NFL. And so they're 13th in the league in third down conversions. So obviously that's not a sexy number, but they're above average there. And Teddy Bridgewater, that was a weird game last year. It really was when he came in with the Saints. Very weird game. And so again, you got to get to him. He can run. I would say he's not a mobile quarterback by any means, but he can use his legs to get first downs. I think we've seen that in his time with the Vikings and pretty much anywhere he's gone. But he is a pocket passer, so he's not going to look to run. He's going to look to pass first and run if he has to. So I think pressure is going to be important, and we could say that every week. I'm happy to flaunt out that we have the number one red zone defense in the NFL. Yeah. So again, just continue that trend and man, like I said, that Kyle Fuller fumble last week, I really think changed the game. I think it changed the complexity of, especially that first half.
Great hit.
Huge hit, legal. I'm not going to say I wasn't screaming at the TV when they threw the flag there. I just watching it again. I didn't see any helmet to helmet. I thought it was, maybe there was some launch there, but I thought it was about as clean in 2020, about as clean of a hit as you can get.
Yeah, for sure.
So, again, we're going to need some momentum plays. It's not going to hurt us. I suspect this to be a pretty somewhere in the 20s. I don't think we get into the 30s at all. I think this is kind of going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
And so again, Mike Davis, isn't that funny? He's the seventh most productive back this far, thus far in the NFL, and we let him walk. Robbie Anderson, I think Robbie Anderson is, what is he, top 5 in yardage. He's on pace right now for a 1,500 yard season. Robbie Anderson is. So, keep him in front of you because again, he's a speed guy. He's a big play guy. I like their personnel. I do like Curtis Samuels, DJ Moore, and even a guy like Ian Thomas, kind of an underrated name there that's had some success early. I do think that they have some weapons. Like I said, I think we're very similar. I think we have some weapons that aren't household names. I think they have the same thing here, and I'm very happy that I will not see Christian McCaffrey line up in the backfield on Sunday because I think that's a whole other thing to plan for.
For sure. All right, let's go ahead and get into our keys to the game here. So, for the Bears, and we talked about some of these, but I definitely wrote these down as well. But third quarter, every single time we get into the third quarter, I'm looking at the Bleacher Report. I'm seeing what the Bears writers are coming out with on Twitter and such, and they're always saying we don't play in the third quarter. We never ever seem to. We have not scored a point in the third quarter this entire season, is what I've noticed, which is really inexcusable. Like Nagy should be having a good set of plays ready to go coming out of the second half, whether they get the ball to start or not, and they need to execute and they need to go and find something. We got to start throwing the ball downfield more. I really don't feel bad about Nick Foles throwing the ball down the field. I just feel like crazy things are happening. Like Robinson has a ball in his hand. It ends up going to the opposition, or guys aren't finishing their routes, or there's just a lot of miscommunications. But we need to start to do we need to get those downfield throws going, or else we're going to just continue to have short passes and a sloppy run game. And then lastly, we got to create some mismatches because like we saw last week, if we don't have those mismatches, or when we do have those mismatches, we really do have an opportunity for some success there. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, and who, if we're playing the matchup game, who are they going to put on Jimmy Graham? I mean, I think that's been the anomaly this year, and I think I think that signing has been very highly scrutinized. But again, we sit here and we're saying through 5 games, the man's got 4 touchdowns, and that's why we brought him here. So, are they going to put a guy like Trey Boston, a physical safety on him, and try to jam him at the line and try to disrupt that timing? Are they going to? I mean, Shaq Thomas, to his credit, has been known as a linebacker that can go from sideline to sideline. He's a Washington University guy, first round pick for them. He's got some talent. Who are they going to put on? Are they going to shadow Allen Robinson? And who are they going to put on Jimmy Graham, red zone, and third downs? I think those are going to be some matchups to watch as far as the passing attack. Now, they don't have the Josh Norman that just follows you around and shuts it down. They don't have that anymore.
That's great for us.
That's great for us. I'm hoping that we can exploit some of that zone coverage and soft man. I think we do better in man, and I suspect that we'll probably get some man on third downs. And again, that's why I think we take those shots, because we're going to take our chances that we're either going to get a PI call or we're going to come down with the ball in some capacity. So, be interested to see how they match up with us and how they plan to play us in man.
Yeah. I still like. I know we've talked about this in the past. I still like our wide receiver core. I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting for them to come together consistently and be making plays, because Robinson is usually there, but the others seem to have their games where they just disappear. Anthony Miller made one catch maybe last week. It was a good catch. It was a big catch, but where are these guys consistently throughout the game? So that has been something I've been frustrated with. I don't know about you.
No, I'm right there. And really, it's the third down efficiency. It's like Anthony Miller made a nice third down catch. I think he had
that was like a game on the line catch, right?
Well, it was. Yes, it was. It was a third down catch. He went for 4 catches for 28 yards last week. Yeah, it probably felt like 1 or 2, because besides the third down, most of them were just little check downs. But again, third down, we're the sixth worst team at converting third downs in the NFL. So if we want to be a playoff caliber team, that's where we have to see that in that category. We have to improve. And I think the Javon Wims, the Riley Ridleys. If I'm a defense, I'm gonna put 2 people over Allen Robinson, because I know that we're gonna try to force the ball to him. So you have to. We do have a good enough wide receiver group to win some of those one-on-ones, and I think that's really where we're going to need to see them shine, is big plays, and on third down, can we get some of those other role players involved? And when we do, they got to make the plays. It's on them. So I completely agree with you there.
Okay, let's talk about our counterparts here again. So for the Panthers, they're looking to have slow drives on offense, not slow drives, but have slow, long drives on us, because on our defense, I feel like that is where you can really attack our defenses, if you have these slower drives where the defense is on the field the whole game. And that's also that's just Teddy Bridgewater 101. He wants to slowly get down the field. They want to slice and dice us, so they're going to be looking for that. On defense, they need to stop the run game for us, because if they do that, they know that then Nick Foles has to beat them. And I don't know why, but I just have good feelings about David Montgomery being a consistent threat to make plays for us. And then lastly here, we're still trying to get to Tom Brady for interior pressure. So just because we don't want to forget about that. But really, I think the Panthers, if they can get to Nick Foles, if they can get pressure on Nick Foles, then that's going to help them out as it would for any team. But what I like about Nick Foles and what we've noticed in watching is that he will stick in there and he will take the hit. Like, he will take the hit every time, but he will deliver the ball still, which is maybe Trubisky. He sees that pressure coming and he kind of gets out of the pocket and runs away, or he doesn't throw the ball, and that has definitely hurt us. So what are your thoughts on the Panthers and some of their keys to the game?
Yeah, again, I think that's a good point on the slow drives. I think we've seen not only this year, but let's just take us back to last year. Remember the game in London where Josh Jacobs just took us to the woodshed, and we were calling him. I mean, he was our daddy for all 4 quarters there, and literally that was the blueprint on us, is to beat our defense. Just wear it down, even if you don't score, get some points. But I mean, I think our defense has been exposed more in the run than it has in the passing game. I really think, I do think teams can exploit some matchups on us, not only because we have such good edge rushers coming off the ball, which does create some more holes up front sometimes. But like I said, I do think that's the blueprint to beat the Bears is run and bruise them and wear them down. And if you only give the offense a few possessions, you'll take your chances that they're not going to beat you, right?
Yeah,
so,
sure.
yeah, I agree with you there. I do think that if we're one-dimensional, we're a lot easier to beat, especially just this year. And again, if they can get to Foles, yeah, he takes care of the ball better than I think Trubisky does. I think he's a little bit more willing to throw the ball away, tuck it, and just take the sack, or stand in there and take the hit and deliver, what I would say a quality throw under pressure. So, again, though, who are they? I'm just curious. I really want to see who they. When Jimmy Graham lines up wide by himself, I really am curious to see who's going to be on him, because how big is Jimmy Graham? 6'6", 6'7"?
He's a giant. He feels like a giant. Every time we throw the ball to him, I know that in the red zone, I know that's the guy. Like, throw it to him. It's got to be a touchdown if you throw it to him. I don't even know, honestly, if I need him anywhere else in the game. I mean, I'm sure I know he's in the game, he's blocking and such, but when he is, if we just got him so that in the red zone we can know who to throw it to, that's fine with me at this point, because he's that important to our offense.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and to that point, I'd like to see maybe again, using Matt Nagy using Jimmy Graham not only as a weapon, but as also a curtain. Defenses know you're going to throw that way, so
for sure.
Whether we use him, kind of as a as someone that we're going to pretend to throw to, or we are actually going to throw to. Yeah. So I think he's going to draw a lot of attention.
All right, you ready for prediction time?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, so my prediction is Bears 23, Panthers 20. Last week we both took the Bucks. I think that was rightfully so. The Bucks were kind of on a roll. They had won 3 in a row. We had never beaten Brady, but I feel good that we have a little more confidence. I think if our running game can open up, where you said if the Panthers can make the Bears one-dimensional, that would really bode well for them. I'm still waiting. I think that if our offense can open this up and have both things going, the run game and the pass game, it's going to really show off what this offense truly is. I can't think of many games this year where we ran the ball and passed the ball well throughout the whole game.
Right. I mean, has there been any in the last 3 years?
I don't know.
I mean, then I'm saying full games, because
there's been parts here and there. You're right, but maybe not in the full game. So I'm taking Bears 23, Panthers 20. I still think this year, and I hope that in some ways this continues, because it'll mean that we're in every game. But I just feel like every Bears game is an intense nail biter that drives you crazy, and we hope the Bears end up winning in the end.
It smells a little bit like a trap game, because again, I think we're riding high off this. We beat Brady, and I know we got a longer week. We played last Thursday, so I think that's going to bode well for I hope that's helping our offense just prepare a little bit more. But to me, because we are going to Carolina, this just smells like a trap game to me. But I am still taking the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears 24-17. And my question to you, Scotty, I love putting you on the spot here.
Yes.
Is I'm going to ask you 2 questions. So here's my first question is, do we score on our opening drive this week? Yes or no? Any points do we score?
I'm going to say yes. A couple of reasons why. One is because Cordarrelle Patterson is going to take that ball out of the end zone if we get it to start the game. Like, that guy, every time we're watching, especially if Troy Aikman and Joe Buck are doing the game, which I don't think they are this week, but they're always like, there's no way he's taking that out. And then he makes it out to the 35 or 40, or he runs back for a touchdown. So with that field position, I think we get a field goal or a touchdown on the first drive, but I'm going to go with field goal just because we seem to get rolling on offense, a lot of opening possessions, but then we have some dumb holding call or something ridiculous happens that sets us back. So I think we start off this game with a field goal. That's my insider take on that first.
I like it.
First question.
Well, as my father, Steve Jansen, would say, Cordell Patterson, man, he's special, man. He's special, man. So I agree with you there that he's got some juice. I'm glad we got him. He's probably headed to the Pro Bowl if he continues with his success on special teams. And
sure.
The other question I have for you is, do we score in the third quarter in this game? And if we do, how much are we scoring?
I'd say this is the time. We're going to score a touchdown in the third quarter of this game.
Just one.
What?
Just one.
I think one will do. Yeah. I'd say we score one touchdown in the third, one in the fourth.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for. Look, you got to start small here. Remember that. If you haven't scored at all, you can't expect for an explosion in the third quarter. Now, I would love that to happen, but I'm going to start small here. Let's get one score, one touchdown in the third. Maybe we get a field goal too, though. So 10 points in the third would be great. What about you? What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go on the. I'm going to say that I'm going to say. I don't know, because again, these games that we played against them. Remember, what was it? 2018. Eddie Jackson has two return touchdowns in the game. I think our offense accrued about 100 total yards in it. And it was what was it, a 20-17, something like that game.
Probably.
So I'm gonna say we're gonna explode. I'm saying we're scoring 14 in the third. 14 in the third. What did I have us? 24. So slow start, come out of the second gates. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get 14. We're going to go boom, come out, 3 and out, score again. And then I really think we're going to be able to play that complementary football that we've been waiting for, that our defense, I think, has been waiting for, that they know they're up by a couple scores and they just got to just bend but not break.
All right. We'll do. Did you have another question, or that was the second one?
Oh, I got another question, and I just thought of it. How many points, give me the line score for David Montgomery this year, or this game, because you've been preaching his name. You've been preaching his name all day and night.
Yeah. I don't know how I don't have a jersey of David Montgomery at this point.
You might, yeah. You might need to get an Iowa State one, too.
Maybe that's what I'll get for Christmas this year. Who knows? The line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to see him get – what were you going to say?
I was going to say you don't have to do rushes. Give me – is he going to have any catches?
Okay, Dave Montgomery this week, he's going to run 17 times, because we never give our running back the ball more than like 17 times or something. We hardly ever give them 20-plus carries. Okay. 17 carries, probably like 80 yards, 5 catches, 40 yards, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown.
Ooh, that would make my fantasy teams that would make me very happy as a fantasy owner.
Throwing out some numbers there, but I feel like when he is involved in the offense, things happen. I really do.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
But, all right.
The guy's built like a bridge stroll, man. The guy is stout from the toes to the waist, man. The guy. I mean, I can't imagine trying to tackle him, Scotty. How many attempts do you think you need in the hole to tackle David Montgomery? Be honest with me.
I don't think I could ever tackle him for one. But you're right. Probably 3. I mean, usually he breaks 1 or 2 easily.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is even when he's going down, he seems to find 2 or 3 more yards.
Yeah, extremely balanced. I actually have noticed that he's always he's always falling forward, kind of like a Matt Forte did, I would say,
Sure. So, all right. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
I don't. Well, and then you know what? On a side note, Buccaneers 28, Packers 27 in an upset, and we're going to be tied for the NFC North. There's my prediction right there. You heard it first.
Love to see that. While we're on that note, just real quickly. So last week after we won the game against the Bucs and Brady. All I heard was that the Bucs were the better team. They just made a mistake or 2 at the end. That's like all I heard. No respect for the Bears. We're 4-1, and nobody ever believes that we're any good. It's
Yeah.
just
Well, Tom didn't even know what down it was on, so
I
I don't know. What his I didn't hear the post game really.
yeah,
All I needed to know was he put 4 fingers up on 5th down. So
that's pretty funny.
that was, and you know what? He had me doubted. I was like, wait a second, because that was very. And I saw that there was some hot takes. People were saying, well, if Tom Brady's going to sit there and chew his linemen out and yell at him, very Jay Cutler-esque and Jamarcus Webb, you remember those days?
Oh, I remember those days.
He can't turn around and have a mental mistake like that, and I thought that was a good point.
That is a good point.
But, all the respect to him, I'm sure if we get in the playoffs, there's a chance we'll see him again, and I don't know, he's the greatest of all time, in my opinion, at the quarterback position as of right now. Now, we could debate on, down the road there might be, but I don't know if there's another person we could put in that same boat. I don't know how you feel about it.
6 rings is a lot.
That's how many does Montana have? 3?
I'm not sure.
Montana? Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
So yeah, I didn't like the non-handshake either. I'd at least.
That's COVID though, right?
That's COVID. But again, you did see the rest of the players kind of okay. But all Tom Brady has to do is just raise it, put his helmet up, show some sign of respect. I don't know if that's an issue or that was again, if it was a byproduct of the kung flu that we got going on here. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But again, we got away with a win. We finally beat Brady, Scott. We finally beat Brady.
Now I can be a happy person the rest of my life. All right. Well, we'll catch you next week. We'll be back. Don't forget to subscribe to Turn Up, Beardown, the new name of our podcast show. That is also a YouTube show. So there you go. We'll catch you guys next week. Beardown.
All right, man. Beardown. Thanks for having me.